All right, it is Friday night. You know what that means. We are here just in time for the opening round. The opening race of the. I will start this again. Welcome to Friday Night Trucks, powered by Beat the Dark. Mental health matters. This is the Australian NASCAR eSeries. This is um, round two, playoff two. Oh my God! And now I can't even click on the right. There we go. I think we're just about ready. I'm so sorry, guys. It has been a bit of a technical mishap this evening. There we see Jason Holdsworth, Matthew Budd. They're going to be in the front row of this Iowa Speedway round two race of the playoffs. Lachlan Akijo, Adam Malone will be on that second row. Third row is going to be Ronnie Thompson and Tom Pritchard, Marty Mitchell and Ruben Phelps on that eighth row. So fourth row, seventh and eighth. Fifth row, Mark Cochran and Tim Blundell, Andy Barber and Brian Blundell will be on that sixth row. And it looks like Nigel Seidel, Maxie Marshall rounding out the rest of that grid. All right. Get down to the track and we'll get this one going in just a minute. Oh, my session's not going to fit there. Okay. Oh, we don't need it. We've got that on the actual counter there, Bob. If the lap counts, it's going to be 150 laps. All right. We do have a bit of a playoff picture actually here. Race two, round two of the playoffs. Just one more round to go. But the current sort of situation is Thompson, Nitro Racing, they're leading the points standings. Phelps from SRM Motorsports, Ruben Phelps, third place, looking to secure their playoff spot. Stevens from Middle Finger Racing holding on to that last playoff spot. Akijo Blundell, Malone, and McKenzie looking to upset that playoff picture as well. Basically, can Holdsworth make it 2 wins in a row? He will start. Oh, is he start? Oh, no, there he is on our screens. It says he's in the pits, but he will start on our screens. Will Thompson's consistency pay off? Can Phelps or Stevens secure that playoff spot, or will Malone or McKenzie make a comeback? One more lap of the track, and we'll get this 150 lap race started. Oh, no, we can't use that. That's all the way up there. All right, we are off and racing. The first of 150 laps underway. There are 14 cars vying for their different fairy tale endings. Can some of these guys, as I say, make a comeback in Darren McKenzie or Adam Malone? I'm getting. How can I not remember their names? Jason Holdsworth, can he go 2 from 2? How's that race sound going? Barely hearing my headset on. I'll just turn it off a little bit. Oh, first caution has come out. Let's see if we can sort of see where that might have been. Can't see. I can see the yellow flag coming out, but I can't see anyone crashing. So, yeah, first caution, third lap. Oops. Of course, as Jason Holdsworth, he's in second spot. Back there behind Matthew, but I didn't realise that Matt had got in front of him, so we'll start there at Matt. Matt's currently going to be lining up on first outside of pole. Next to him will be Jason Holdsworth, Lachlan Akisho, and actually, let's see if we get a little bit closer to these cars while we're doing this. There we go. Lachlan Akisho and Adam Malone. I'll be on the second row. Got Ron Thompson, Andy Barber in the pits. There's Ruben Phelps. He'll be alongside Tom Pritchard. Then we've got Marty Mitchell and Mark Cochran. Brian Blundell. He'll be alongside Tim Blundell brothers. Got Bossman Nigel Seidel in the cow print. Alongside Maxie Marshall. Andy Barber out of the pits. Ron A. Thompson, he's still in there. So he'll be out very soon as the boys come around. Start finish line. All right, very close to that 1 degree, I reckon. Hey, Lane. Yeah, Lane coming over from the US audience. But yeah, this is Friday night trucks powered by Beat the Dark. Mental Health Matters. This is the Australian NASCAR eSeries, their truck competitions. So yeah, I do a lot more American broadcasts than Australian ones, but this one, yeah, Friday nights, Australian, love it. We had 3 playoff races in round 1. This is round 2 of the playoffs. Race 2, Iowa Speedway, of course. Yeah, you're the first lane this morning, or this evening for me, this morning for you. But yeah, a couple of the Americans as they get up ready for work for that Friday, that end of the week. I might have gone to oh, whoops, I did. To get to the starter cam, but there it is. Off we go. Matthew Budd, Jason Holdsworth. Lachlan Akisho gets a good start though. He is underneath the 11 of Jason Holdsworth. It looks like Lachlan's going to be able to, Jason's going to be able to settle in up high as he gets back past Lachlan Akisho. Slides in behind Matthew Budd, but I think he might even push down low in turns 1 and 2 coming up and try and make a move here. It's very early in the race, only 8 of 150 laps in, but this is for a playoff spot. This is for bragging rights. This is for the comeback of the century. There's so many stories at play here tonight. All we've stayed up here with the leaders for a little bit, so let's check some of the other traffic out around the place. 14 cars still remain. Like here at the 22, he's in the top 10, the 651 in ninth. Marty Mitchell in front of him. Mark Cochran just back there behind Ron Thompson. We also see the 86 of Brian Blundell. There's Maxi Marshall, and just back there at the 14th slots, Nigel Seidel. Battle going on here. Oh, back up the front. There's the teammates Malone and Pritchard. Lachlan Akijo up ahead of them. Jason Holdsworth and Matthew Budd as well. See there the battle for first. And Blundell, he's made the biggest jump so far. 4 spots up into 6th place. Let's have a look at some best laps and last laps. So we'll go best lap first, last lap. There we go. Oh, that's the wrong tower, Bob. Sorry, guys. There's the last lap times as we get to lap 114. Sorry, 114, 114, 15. Look, ever had one of those days? I'm having one of those fortnight months. Well, we see there on our screens, though, Tim Blundell. That's the hard charger at the moment. Him and Andy Barber both up 4 slots. We see Andy Barber just back there in the background behind Ruben Phelps. Scoring on Tim Blundell, the 4 car, though. They're stuttering. Unfortunately, don't have our standard NASCAR cams for Iowa. So relying on our TV cameras for tonight. Those lap times are like Tim Blundell, just a little bit quicker, almost 1/10 quicker than Ruben Phelps behind him. KC Racing, thank you very much for the like. Appreciate it. Top 5 at this point as we come to the 20th lap. Matthew Budd, Jason Holdsworth, Lachlan Akijo, Adam Malone, and Tom Pritchard. The man on our screens there. Tim Blundell in 6th spot. Ruben Phelps behind him in 7th. Andy Barber, Ron Thompson, and Marty Mitchell round out the 10. And we've got Brian Blundell, Maxi Marshall, Nigel Seidel, and Mark Cochran. Mark Cochran at the moment falling 5 spots from 9th back to 4th from his start. That, of course, as it says there on the screen, Brian Blundell coming out of Canberra. Not going to judge that he's driving a Ford. Everyone has their choices. Calm down. Ruben Phelps coming along the low line there under Tim Blundell. I think that is Tom Pritchard just up ahead of him. See on the leaderboard there, Chevy, the popular car, and as it should be. Ford, then Toyota. I wouldn't mind if it was Toyota, then Ford. Let's have a look at some of the best times on the track. 23.13. Matthew Budd, Jason Hodsworth's got 23.25, 23.33, and 23.32 for Lachlan Akijo and Adam Malone. Tom Pritchard running out the 5, 23.26. A couple of slightly quicker times down through that field, and ultimately still plenty of pace to come. Only 6 laps in, and we can see there that Phelps and Barber, Ruben Phelps and Andy Barber did go to the pits quite early, right on that first yellow flag run. They've been on a 22, 23 lap run, everyone else 26. Watching the 91 of Tom Pritchard and the 06 of Ruben Phelps battle this race out. 28 laps in of 150. Barely a fifth of the way, almost a fifth of the way into this race. But these guys battling as if it's the final 29. Tom Pritchard does have support in Andy Barber behind him. They are, of course, teammates. A lot has changed up the front. Still Matthew Budd, Jason Holdsworth, Lachlan Akijo, Adam Malone, and Ruben Phelps. Andy Barber, of course, on our screens right there with teammate Tom Pritchard right behind him. And then they've got Tim Blundell, Ron Thompson, Marty Mitchell, Brian Blundell, Maxie Marshall, Mark Cochran, and Nigel Seidel. Now, of course, this is round 2, playoff round 2, race 2. Just 2 rounds in the playoffs. 3 races ahead. We have one more race to go. That will be next week. Nashville Super Speedway, and then the championship round will be at Chicagoland. So just 2 more races of the Australian NASCAR eSeries Truck Series, powered by Beat the Dark. Mental health matters. Beat the Dark, such an awesome group, and their message and everything they do is amazing. This is Mental Health Month, of course, so their message not no. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say it's more prevalent now than ever before, but it's such one of those messages that I'm trying to scroll and find something, but I can't find it. Is it's true to life and everything we do here at Australian NASCAR Series, as well as on Bobith TV. Right, we're lap 34 of 150. Oh, Sounds like we've got a booth regular, Mr. Nigel Stidell. Oh, yep, I can see he had entered the pits. Car not working out for you tonight, Mr. Stidell, sir?
Oh, I thought I'd come and say good day to Bob and the great viewers out there and say hello.
He's supposed to get top threes for no. Always welcome. It's looking a couple of, as you pointed out in the Discord, a couple of different stories sort of playing out in tonight's race, and there's a few of his options still sort of there. Ron Thompson, nothing too concerning yet. Obviously, we're only a third of the way of the race in at the moment. We're back, but Jason Holdsworth and Ruben, they're up there having a go at it.
It's
Um,
SRM versus Stars versus Nitro. The three big teams going at it.
that's it. Nitro currently leading the points standing. Now, I was just actually going to talk about, but I think you say it better. I don't know. But I was just going to say it's Mental Health Month this month. Beat the Dark Message, obviously, very much in line with that. But obviously, it's something we highlight just because it's the month of highlighting it. It's something that we live and sort of breathe every day. But did you want to talk a bit about what Beat the Dark means and sort of how that relates to the league?
Yeah, it's all about as most people know, mental health is getting a bigger and bigger problem in society these days, and it's sim racing is one way that everyone can come together and forget about their problems for a while and have a race with their mates and race in a league situation like this. And it's not just the races; it's the practice that goes into it and the mateship. It's one thing that we do in our league is we have a bit of an open Discord after the race. So I usually jump in there myself,
Yep.
and yeah, we usually just have a chat for might be an hour, sometimes might be 2 hours, and we all have a chat and see how our races went, and we try to we try to get that mateship going after the race. We can all be competitive on track, but once we get off track, it's we can all get together, have a laugh, have a cry if we lose. Um, all those little things. But yeah,
Yeah,
mental health is a massive thing, and we're great to have Beat the Dark on board with this. Mental health does matter, and yeah, if anyone's struggling out there, don't be shy to get in touch with mates, family, the appropriate charities and services out there. Everyone's here to help. You know, what's the saying goes? It's okay not to be okay.
that's it. That's it. And look, yeah, as people say, yeah, the majority of people have been through. I've been through it myself. And the thing that I've learned is you sort of keep it to yourself because you think you're unique. It's this is my problem. No one else has this issue. And the moment you start talking about it, everyone else starts to open up, and you start to realize that you're all having similar issues and similar battles, and you know, a problem shared is a problem halved. So it's definitely
Oh,
good to talk about.
yeah, it is, and if with the league and with having Beat the Dark on board, if we can help one person,
Mm,
it's all been worth it.
that's it. Yeah,
It's yeah. Look, we've all been there. We've all had bad days at work. We've had things go on in life, and mates and family usually help you get through. And yeah, it's a great initiative, and yeah, we must thank Beat the Dark for coming on board for this season.
definitely should. Definitely should. All right, coming up on lap 46, that battle up the front is is really heating up. If Jason and Matthew have raced like this is the last, I said it about lap 29, I think it was, because I'm pretty sure I said they were racing like it was the last 29 to go. And here we are at lap 45, 46, and Jason's just taken the lead again. Lachlan looks like he's trying to capitalize on that. Oh, yeah, I think Matt a little bit too high up into the wall, so that's going to drop him back to third or fourth as Ruben
He's been
Phelps.
Nitro. Jason has been ganged up though by the three SRM guys. They're all in battle there together, and this is what makes it so well. The SRM boys have been working hard on their sets all week with two of their drivers in the playoffs. Matthew Budd would be helping out behind the scenes and making sure that their sets are fast, and they bring in their own game to the track. And since we're at night in the night time too, this is a later race that started at 10 p.m. on in race time. There'll be a little bit more grip on the track too, so means they can send it in a little bit harder. Tire wear becomes that little less to worry about. But yeah, they usually with two sets of tyres for this race, I wouldn't be at all surprised if there's some pit stops in the next 20 laps.
No, definitely not. Looking at the battle, there we go. We can actually see the team names. I don't think they're all probably registered, but yeah, Nitro Racing, SRM, Southern Star Esports, and Blundell Sim Racing. I don't think we can really write Tim off yet. He is up there in seventh. Started back in about ninth or 11th, and he's another guy that's might sneak up while these other guys are having these big battles a little bit
Mr.
earlier.
Consistent. I call the Blundell boys Mr. Consistent. They're always clocking the laps over, waiting for the end to come.
Yep. They, sounds like they're the hussies of NASCAR truck racing. I'd say wars, but we'll go for a slightly younger audience sort of crowd. But no,
Also got to remember you've got Andy Barber too. He's now in the top four. He's up 8 positions. He's our fastest mover tonight. He's not in the playoff picture, but his teammate Adam Malone is in seventh place. Still is. He's our reigning season Truck Series champion, Adam Malone. So he
oh, he
won't
was too. Yes.
he will be he won't go without a fight. I think he'll be in the in the final four, as they say. He won't give up just yet.
Yep. Now Matthew Budd has dropped a few spots down as he's gone into the pits. We can see a lot of the guys there, 51 lap runs. I don't think it's sort of Ruben and Andy went in a little bit early on that first caution and have a 47, 48 lap run. So I think either way for either of those guys, you'd imagine they didn't take tyres or anything like that. So just a little bit of fuel. So they'd be safe to pit with those guys. But
This will be interesting because
they're
because the
staying
way
out.
yeah, this could be split into two. Like you can split this because there's only two sets of tires. You could lap pit on lap 50 and lap 100,
Hmm.
and just split it into three, or you can come in around that lap 65 to 70, save a little bit of fuel, and keep that set of tires for the green white checker,
Yep.
which may happen. We tend to go, which if it did, that strategy would be absolutely perfect.
Yeah, look, and I think with the 14 car count as well, I think that that last everyone's so still quite grouped together. If we look at the gap, I think it's about 12, 11, 12 seconds. So that's about what a little under a quarter of a lap. So no one really sort of falling off the pace just yet. So I think yeah, if there's a green white check and everyone gets bunched up or a late caution, I think that could have sort of unforeseen ramifications there.
100% it should. And Jace, yep, he's got that point 0.3 of a second of a lead over Ruben at the moment, with Lockie coming in third position with Andy in fourth. So they're holding their own ground here at the moment, just counting down those laps. And Ruben hasn't gave up yet. He's caught up to Jace.
I think they've realised it's not a like a 50 lap race. They can calm down a little and just ride out that middle 50 now and ride that ride that just get some time under your belt, lap times, and try not to do anything too crazy. But I think Ron's decided now's a good time to make a move because he seems to be starting to try to push up. He's going to battle Marty Mitchell. Oh, Jace Holdsworth just entered the pits. Got the 651. Marty Mitchell might have had a little trouble with the wall there too. As the 15, Mark Cochran makes his way up through the field a bit. He's another one that I wonder if he's racing with Ron because they both hung back and they look like they'd be going at the same time, or if he's just sort of gone, I'll follow Ron, I'll ride those coattails. Oh, stupid throat this week. All right, Tom Pritchett is there in fourth place. There's Brian Blundell just back there behind him at Pierce, he's made it up into the top five. Mate of Tom Pritchard, Andy Barber, just ahead of him, Lachlan Akijo and Ruben Phelps. Starting to see some more pit now. I can see them. Marty Mitchell has entered the pits. Jason's just not long left the pits as he was entering. A couple of guys to lap down. Matthew Budd, Jason Holdsworth, and Adam Malone, but nothing to worry about at the moment. Matty Raymond, here he is. And SRM boss is watching now. Good luck, lads. Oh, wrong one. Oh, what do I push? Get rid of that. You see SRM are leading the race. There's Ruben Phelps. Coming up quickly on Adam Malone, Mark Cochran, and Ron Thompson. He does have Lachlan Akijo, Adam Barber, and Andy Barber. Sorry, Andy. Tom Pritchard back there as well. The one caution way back early on the third lap. Oh, there it is. Just jinxed someone. Let's have a look. We'll go back on replay. We're on the 08 of Maxi Marshall. Have a look here to see what's happened. The 651 is also up there ahead. That's Marty Mitchell. Oh, no, the 08 just got a bit loose. Those tyres started to wear, get a bit too hot. No, stick to them. Matty, I'm good, mate. I am good. Get back to the live screen. I'm not down there racing 150 laps in these beasts, so I'm all good. It looks like a lot of them are going to be going into the pits at this time. I guess pit strategy really not needed right now, Bob. While they're going through the pits, let's just have a quick look at the practice results, the times from over practice. Oops. Oh, no, we can do that, yeah. So Andy Barber was quickest in practice. Jason Holdsworth, Matthew Budd, Lachlan Akijo, Ruben Phelps. Oh, wait, no, that's the grid, Bob. I want the results. Oh, that's practice results. Yeah, there we go. I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, Ruben was fifth quickest in practice, so look for that to translate through to this race. Sorry, I had a moment just before the race, things weren't working, and I'm a little bit, how do you say? Oh, Kelvin Clark, of course. I'm like, PC Racing 777, I know that number. But the 777, that's Kelvin Clark. Of course, I'm sorry, Kelv. Viewers, we know we had Lane on Facebook. We've got Maddie on YouTube. Bobbeth TV also live on Twitch. So if you're watching on Twitch, just give us a shout out, just to let us know you're there.
If you're still watching, Maddie, Ray, give us an excuse why you're not.
The call out. The call out. That's always the good question. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love it if you're not watching, that you're not racing, that you come in and watch. But boys could use an extra set of eyes and tyres on the track. Looks like it's going to be Ruben and Lachlan on that front row. Andy and Tom second row. Tim Blundell, Mark Cochran will be on that third row. Fourth row, Blundell, Matthew Bard. It looks like Ron Thompson's still in the pits, so Jason Holdsworth and Matthew Malone will be on the fifth row. Six in a row will be Marty Mitchell and Maxi Marshall. Rodden gets out in time. He might slot up ahead of them. They are a lap down. Look for that to come back out in the wash as get another 60 odd lap, a green flag run at minimum.
Geez, I don't know, Matty. That's a pat. That's. I'll let you off just this once. I'll let you
Working.
off.
Yeah,
I'll let you off just once. Just make sure you make Noddy a nice supper when you get home.
where's Noddy? Why's Noddy not racing? Or is that if Matty doesn't race, Noddy does?
Not sure where Noddy is tonight, but if you're watching Nods, hope you're well, mate. I hope you're well.
Wasn't a call out, Mr. Tompkins. I'm sorry.
See, I'm working in like in brackets now. Does
Mm.
that like means he's sitting back watching the football, or sorry, Matty, I'm just stirring you up.
Who's playing tonight? Who are we up against?
I think it's St Kilda Brisbane tonight.
Oh, that's a nobody.
I'm a one-eye St Kilda
Oh,
supporter, so
my
that's
bad,
okay.
my bad, my bad. No, the Saints are great. Oh, yeah, as he presents. No. Uh, we are off and racing lap 69 is a go. 68, sorry, is a go. I'm trying to wish the race away already. Phelps, Lachlan Akijo, Andy Barber, Tom Pritchard, Brian Blundell. That is the five as they settle in behind one another.
I reckon if you was out there tonight, Matty, I reckon you would have lapped the field by now.
Ooh, ooh. Five of Andy Barber got a little loose there. Really check up to get that straight again. There we go. Get a bit of an idea of how fast these guys are going. Dropped out about 190 k's as they enter the turns, but hit about 240 on the backstretch, the front stretch, 250 easy there as he backs off again. Yeah, these tyres are only about what? Yeah, 6 laps old, 3 to 6 laps old, and these guys are trying to race them as if they're warm as close to the halfway mark though. 71 laps in. Plus, looks like Bud Rubes and Lockie don't need my help, mate. Just got to wrap up those nitros. SRM currently 1 and 2. Looks like Stars 3 and 4. And he's making his way back up. He's so outside the top five. But the way these guys are sort of racing in these weird little, like almost like intimidation packs, like a flying bee going or something, and start trying to scare the drivers. Every time I see Tim's car flash up, he's back there in fifth, coming to the screen. Looks like he's part of the SARS boys. Like it just looks like he's got that light blue variation hair wrap.
Yep.
So it looks like they're sort of like 3, 4, and 5, but obviously not. Um, Adam Malone, like to be up there in top five, I would imagine at this point. Andy Barber's still getting a little bit loose with that rear end. I think rather than try and sort of block him or fight him, I think Lachlan's just trying to make Andy be his own victim there. He's like be the victim of his own demise, making him really push that car a little bit harder than he'd want to. Good little tactic. Sort of opens the door a little bit, makes it look like there's room, and then by the time he feels it, there's just nowhere for him to go. That five truck tank slap a little bit, and the guy's just a master. It's straight, overcorrect like it.
The first two trucks are fighting for a playoff spot. The third and fourth trucks of the Stars are fighting for a little bit of pride at the moment, hoping to snatch a win. And then the Blundell boys, the four car. I'm not sure if that's Tim or Brian. I haven't got my screen up here at the moment.
Hawker, that is Tim Blundell. All right, start off 79th lap. That's still what. Oh, that is a lot of racing still to come.
We're just over halfway now, so 72 laps to go.
Where we'll see if probably more than two options to take, but the two main options the boys will be considering here will be that previous pit. Will that be enough to sort of run them as close to the end as possible, or will you go just that sort of split it down into three lots and try and race it in 50 lap bunches? Uh, Start to see those two different gameplays come into effect and see which of the ones can sort of hold on to the end, and those will be like just begging for a caution.
And now, everyone out there watching, give your prediction who's going to win the race tonight.
Yeah, we normally have my dear friend Justin Stone in the audience. He is such a gun at picking people that win the races. Sometimes he'll do the usual, you know, someone in the top three. Sort of, it's almost an obvious choice, but he does have an insane accuracy because, as you know, anything can and will happen in races. Someone that can lead for 90 laps may could not be there at the end, and then someone could lead for 150 laps, get it done. So it's a tough game we play, and hard to pick. I think look, I'm going to go with. I reckon Holdsworth will go back to back.
I'm going. I'm going. Sorry, Jace, but I've got to go against you. I'm going to go with the five of Andy Barber.
Well, if the little recoveries we've seen him make have been all that he has to battle, then yeah, he's obviously shot, especially there in third. Kelvin Clark, he reckon Ron's on for the win tonight, and yeah, I think Ron's just sort of hanging back. It looks like he's definitely quicker than he's driving, um, and yeah, I think he's just sort of biding his time for the right moment. But Ron Thompson, Adam Malone at the moment.
Matty Raymond, Star lads are racing tonight too. Yep, yes they are. That's why my predictions with Andy. If not, he might do the slingshot and try to get his teammate Adam Malone to victory lane too. So you just don't know. It's an interesting little battle going on here at the moment.
Ruby, Ruby in the 06, my pick. He loves this place. Yeah, some of you guys I have noticed, especially in the interview phase of the broadcast, is the track some of these guys say they love. Yeah, the Martinsville.
There's Bristol, there's Martinsville.
It's kind of like Martinsville. Maybe I am thinking like a paperclip.
Yep, that's Martinsville.
That's Martinsville. Yeah, but like super speedways and the big late tracks, like I like those. They're great, but when you've really got to manage your throttle control, I think that's where my brain just can't handle all the different factors of a race.
Well, Matty Raymond, his predictions from Ruben Phelps in the 6 is his pick. I
All
think
right.
he's after brownie points.
I think he is. I
Take
think
it
he
back.
is.
trying to do the team thing, which is good. Which is good, Matty. I appreciate that. It's good to see you looking after your team. I'm stirring you up, Matty. I'm stirring you up. Don't stress.
Well, it looks like Adam Malone trying to get past Mark Cochran there in the 15, and Mark not really blocking him, but just not really working with him or offering him any sort of easy solution. But Adam got right up under him for a bit there. I thought, oh, that's going to be close. Marshall and Marty Mitchell back there behind him. Still a lap down, but let's say I think the next pit stop might be a green flag one, so that might allow them to get that lap back.
I reckon you might see pit stops start happening in the next 20 laps too.
Current runs 26, 27 to 34 laps. Jason went in a little bit earlier than some of the other guys, 34 laps in. 27 for most of the other guys in that top 8. Some of them have already had 3 stops. Wouldn't have taken tyres, but it's not good if you do have to visit the pits more than, say, the on par average. Usually be 2.
Yeah, 2 stops should get you home in 150 laps, especially you've only got 2 sets of tyres, and you should have plenty of fuel for that, even for your green white checkers.
Built up almost 1.5 second lead over Lachlan and Andy Barber. Richard back about 4.5 seconds for Brian Blundell. So get up to Ruben and see how he's handling those tyres. Scanning that leaderboard, it does look like Andy Barber's still the quickest car out there tonight. 23:20 is lap time. 23:23 for Lachlan Akijo, and our race leader 23:32. So very, very little times between those quick times. And
And he's only 2 tenths slower at the moment than
there
the
we go.
leaders, so it's
Sorry, guys. Thought of something. Facilitated on me.
Andy Barber. He's up 9 spots. He's our fastest mover tonight. He started in 12th. He's up to third. He's looking pretty good at the moment. His last lap was a 24:29, so he's matching what the leaders are doing, which is it makes him only what's the difference is it's about 2.5 seconds. And locking Ruby out, Ruben and locking out in front from SRM. They're setting the pace here at the moment. Rubens is up 6 spots to take the lead tonight. He's on a bit of an alternate strategy than the rest, and if we stay green, it may actually work out for him. So I know Rubes has been doing a lot of practice this week, ready for tonight's race. So he's going to be a hard man to beat.
There are men on a mission. Yeah, they can. They make things happen. Adam Malone still just back there at the top at 10. Matty Budd, Marty Mitchell, sorry, Maxie Marshall, Marty Mitchell, back there behind him. That is such a mouthful. That they're always close together on the track as well. So always gets me. Always gets me.
Matty Raymond says that Ruben loves this place for. I can tell by the way he's driving.
Yeah,
He's doing really, really well.
definitely the quickest car out there at the moment. His last lap 24.2.1. So 24.3 for 2.8. Ron Thompson and the other Blundell, Tim Blundell. No, Brian. Sorry, Brian is the 86. His time's out there at the moment. So yeah, a little bit of speed. Hopefully that keeps it nice and competitive. Guys, a bit of an opportunity and keeps that draft.
And Holdsworth's just passed Pritchard to take fourth spot away as well.
Yes. After making a play on Tim Blundell for 5, pushing him back to 6. It's making some moves. Let's get Chase on our screens. There on Tom Pritchard on our screens. Back on Lachlan. Almost like a reverse diamond entry into that corner. They're 1 and 2. It's like he comes in, starts up very high, comes down to low into the inside line for the apex, and then sort of lets it slide back out to that higher line as he takes off again.
Trying to keep that wheel as straight as he possibly can to save as much tire as he can.
Exactly right. I was going to say he said that before that slow in and fast out will be the winner every time. And some of these guys, I was watching last week's race or the week before, but coming to the last 2 or 3 laps, and it actually looked like they were slowing down to under 100 k's on the on 3 and 4 to get through and keep it low and fast. And but they were like just speed translation very slow. I remember talking to the guys in the interviews about it, and yeah, it was. Said I can't remember who it was, but he said he was putting the brakes on, but he just yeah, it was just sort of a ploy just to hold people up to really make them work on their acceleration and that up that tire for the throttle and stuff. And that's what I mean. There's just too much to think about on this track for me.
Well, Ruben and Jason are the two quickest cars on track at the moment, so first and fourth place. So should be interesting to see if Jace goes to the early pit stop to get that last set of tyres on to push for the lead, or is he going to keep holding out as long as he possibly can.
Yeah, Matthew Budd, very quick 14.6 second pit time, so that would definitely be tyres and a little bit of fuel, and he's back out on the race. So look for him to start climbing back up the ranks as so those cars pit, at least a lap or two later. Yes, Matty, that is it, Nigel. Yeah, you loud? He should be loud coming through. I'll turn him up a little bit.
Hey, Matty. Yep.
Yeah, I forgot to lock the booth. Ah, there we go. We've just got the trifecta. We've got the Twitch chat happening. Shrub God. Bobeth, how are you, man? Thanks for checking us out, Shrubs. I'm good, brother. I'm good. Check out Shrubs. He's a friend of mine, fellow Twitch streamer. Goes and plays those scary games and squeals. So it's always entertaining. Sorry,
I
Shrubs.
haven't worked out. I haven't worked out Twitch yet, but I'll get there one day.
But now that I've got the new computer and obviously it's got with the broadcast and stuff like that, I was like, wow, I can actually start, broadcasting cool games and stuff, playing, and then I'll go, all right, I'll replay Arkham Knight. And so I started playing Batman again. And I was like, I'll broadcast it and we'll stream it on Twitch. And I reckon I'm about 40% into it, and I keep forgetting to stream it. I just load the game up and blast it. I've been playing Pacific Drives. Yeah. Speaking of cars and driving, nice little segue there, Shrubs. Big Drive, that's a fun game. That's the survival one, isn't it? But you live in a car and you drive through all these it's fun stuff. They play. Jason Holdsworth still in second spot. 24.51. Ruben Phelps 24.50 that last lap. 4.64 for Tom at Pritchard. The Blundell boys, both the Blundells managed to team up. They're in fourth and fifth again. Ron Thompson in there in sixth though, so he is definitely going to be a danger as we come to the last 30, 40 laps of this race. There's nice half sprint. World's best. You got cows, have you, Notch?
I do. A
Yeah.
lot of them.
Season, feel free to send me down a meat pack.
Milk.
Milk. Oh, you
Milk.
just milk them. You don't. What about once they're no good? Like that sounds terrible, Bob. We're gonna have the activists after you next time. Once do they get to an end of the milk run? Can't you just Christmas time or?
Nah.
No? Oh wow, got on. Um, very
I'll
gnarly.
bring some up for you. I'll bring some up for you, Matty, when I'm when I'm in Adelaide one day. I'll bring all you guys some fresh milk, and we'll all sit down, have a drink, and some ice cream.
Definitely swing by Tassie on the way. You go like Victoria, Tasmania, South Australia.
Well, I'm a South Aussie man, boys.
Oh, there you go. There you go. My
I'm
family
fine.
from South Australia originally, like they migrated back in the 1800s or whatever, and landed in South Australia. So, but I was born off the Tassie branch.
Yes, well, my fiance's from Tasmania, and I'm 5 hours south of Adelaide. So
All right, Ron Thompson has separated the Blundells, and he's got that car up into fifth. The '08 of Maxi Marshall, though, it looks like he's a bit of lap traffic in the way. Not going to purposely hold the boys up, but he's racing for his own spot, so for a path around him.
well, well, nods are supposed to be racing, Matty.
And nods away. Looks the reward. Racing is the prize, the entry.
Nah, one day when I go back to Adelaide, I'll love to catch up with all you boys up there. I'm sure it'll be a fun night.
122 laps in. It's about to be lap 123. No, it's 122 because Ruben is a little bit further up ahead than those boys. Jason Holdsworth, Tom Pritchard, Brian Blundell, and the blue 22, the man on our screens, Nitro Racing's Ron A. Thompson, a lone uh, American, I guess. I was going to say lone non-Australian, but that's just I was talking to Ron in an interview the other week. Actually, he was telling me how he gets up. Sometimes it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. Daylight savings could be 5 or 4 a.m. And I'm like, dude, I like racing with the best of. I don't know how keen I'd be to get up at 4 a.m. race.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's even earlier, because of the way their daylight. If
Yeah,
it's their daylight saving hasn't started and ours has, or something the
yeah,
likes of that,
yeah.
it works out to be just past 3 for Ron. So like I appreciate the effort that Ron
Yeah.
and all of our international drivers put into the series that they get up. But Eugenio, oh, I can't think who else. Derek
Yeah.
Jacobs is another one that joins us sometimes. Yeah, I always appreciate the times that they get up to race with us. It doesn't go unnoticed from my end anyway. I really do appreciate it.
Oh, definitely not. And just knowing that they do that and then putting on this level of show, yeah, Ron is no stranger to the top five or the top three in a lot of the. So to be able to pull that off, I could just imagine what the guys who race him during normal daylight times must have to deal with.
Oh, that's right.
Mark Cochran and Ron Thompson here having a battle for fifth and sixth. Mark currently the leader of that battle. I think they had about five passes back and forth before he was able to settle back in. Like that is Tim Blundell back there behind him, Lachlan Akijo. Adam Malone in the pits. Looks like he's possibly stopping in for his last stop with 20 odd to go. Have a look at that pit strategy. What do we got running out there? So yeah, 64 to 70 lap runs for pretty much the top seven. Uh, Lachlan's already been in at the pits, his third stint, 16 laps in. But big movers though, Tim and us. No, it's Brian Blundell. That's the 86. Brian Blundell and Ruben Phelps, 7 and 6 spots respectively. So not over yet, but a couple of guys starting to make their intentions known.
This will do his playoff um, contention's really good with Daniel Stevens not with us tonight. Brian might get into that top four, and he's in front of Ron, which is a better, and in front of Lockie as well. So he good jump up there tonight with the effort he's putting in. So yeah, no, well done to Brian, Mr. Consistent as I like to call him.
He has been at that for sure. Currently running 24.6 to Bruce Tom Pritchard, sorry. Tom up there ahead of him with a 24.6.7. So not a lot of time difference between 24.4 and 24.2 for Jason and Ruben. So I'm not sure they'll be challenged anytime soon. Top five is definitely alive and strong at this point. So Tim's
There's a
just
good little
back
battle
there.
going on. Yeah, good little battle between Brian and Tom here at the moment.
On Blundell, there we go. Here, Bob. Oh, and here comes Mark Cochran to join the battle as well. I think Ron will be content to just sit back and watch that play out. Really be a part of it too much just yet. And if one of them sort of makes a rash move, he can benefit.
Looks like Brian's got it done. He's up to third, which is yeah fantastic to see.
Oh, actually, no, he's in second. The 37 up ahead of him.
Second.
That is
Oh, that's
Matthew
right,
Budd.
because
He's a
Jason.
lap
Yeah,
down.
Jason's pitted. So
Oh, he did too. Yeah, 14.87 in the pits. Back out now, of course. Ron Thompson and Tom Pritchard still doing their little battle back there. See that at the top of the screen. Pritchard might have a little bit more momentum than Ron Thompson, though. Able to carry it a little bit faster around that turn.
I wonder if they'll stay out to the end now. Only just on 14 laps to go. If they'll risk it and see if they have enough fuel to get to the end.
Yeah, well, I guess. Well, I mean, with that, like if we look at that count, some of those guys were looking at what 86, say 85 laps worth of fuel. So I'm not a big expert on that, but if 85 laps If the tank holds at least 85, yeah, some of these guys should be fine. They may come down to the wire. I know we've had a race. I think Chase Holdsworth actually, who literally rolled over the line with the fumes of the gas tank at one point, and
That's right.
yeah, those calls they are worth making sometimes, but you've really got to know what your car's doing and sort of those laps and with the speeds to burn the right amount of fuel.
So Ruben Phelps, Brian Brundle, Mark Cochran, Tom Pritchard, Ron Thompson, and Tim Blundell are the only cars who have not pitted a second time.
Very interesting. Will it pay off? Oh, then Mark Cochran got a little bit loose, but managed to adjust it perfectly and get it going again.
Adam Malone and Jason Holdsworth are doing about a second a lap quicker than what the guys who haven't pitted yet.
Going to be a very interesting situation. It's pretty much all or nothing. You got the guys up the front, as you say, they haven't pit. You've got Jace coming up, and yeah, if they've made the miscalculations, he is going to start to screen by them a lot more and move up the field. Tom and Ron are still battling it out. You got to wonder how much fuel and tires those side by side battles wear off with 9 to go.
Good, clean, two wide racing. It's great to see.
Chevy and Ford, I believe. Ron in the Chevy, Mr. Pritchard in the Ford, it seems. So go Chevy. Suppose it's not too bad if I back a car rather than backing a team, I guess. 8 to go, 7 to go. Sorry, 7 to go. Um, have a look at that gap. Ruben Phelps has an almost 19-second lead over Mark Cochran in second, and Brian Blundell in third. 21, 22-second lead over Ron Thompson and Tom Pritchard. Tim Blundell, sorry, 23 seconds almost, and full lap on just about the rest of the field. So Ruben, I think just out to lunch. He's checked out. He's just getting his marks, doing his thing now. I don't think we'll be lucky if he stops racing after the checkered flag. I think he's that locked in.
Coming up with 4 laps to go.
There is Ruben on our screens. I think that's Adam Malone just up ahead of him. It is. Yeah. When you're the leader, you're always pretty much dealing with lap track if you've got cars in front of you, and that's the entire Stars team, I think, right there.
Yes. Looks like Ron Thompson's catching Brian Blundell pretty quickly too, with only just on 3 laps to go.
They've Tom Pritchard just a little bit further back behind him, like that. Tim Blundell as well, who's gone down a lap. So just 4 guys on that lead lap with 2 to go. Penultimate lap underway. With lap times of around 23 seconds, 24 seconds here tonight. I think if we had any more laps there, Ruben would have lapped the entire field. of cars. He was just too good tonight as we hit that final lap and the back stretch, 3 and 4 for the last time. Up to flag at the moment. I think he's 1 and 2 actually. He's just, oh no, here he comes. Checkered flag. Ruben Phelps will take out playoff round 2, race 2 at Iowa. Just one more round to go. Mark Cochran finished second, Brian Blundell third, Ron Thompson fourth, and Tom Pritchard finished fifth. In Blundell, Lachlan Akijo, Adam Barber, Jason Holdsworth, and Matthew Budd. To 10, Adam Malone, Marty Mitchell, Maxie Marshall, 11 to 13, and of course, wonderful colleague in the booth, Nigel Seidel, officially scoring 14th. All right, let's get over. I was going to say, let's go to the distance. Oh, have a bit of
I
a chat.
didn't finish last night. I finished 14th.
Actually, I always read the results out, and I forget that the wonderful overlay has some really good. I won't result. Really good screens. So there we go. We get a better idea of who everyone races for and their finishing positions. But SRM taking out the win. Apex Esports and Blundell Sim Racing second and third. All right, now I will scored. Oh, it's going to be available for a chat. Of course, Nashville Super Speedway next week. 150 laps and wrapping it up at Chicagoland. That's going to be a lot of fun. Matty Raymond very happy in the chat. Ruby played a bit of Kaiser Chiefs there. Won't sing it. Ears of our audience, but it looks like we might not have the boys for a chat night. Are they wrapping up, or do you think they might be?
I think they're on their way. I just gave them the hurry up. Nah, just green room boys. It'd be great to have Brian and Mark in the green room.
Yeah, definitely two guys I haven't had a chat to. Actually, I don't think I've ever had a chat to. So yeah, we'll give them a couple more minutes. Ruben can there and on the celebratory wine and stuff. Brian, all right, Brian's our third place finish, so we'll grab him.
Yeah,
All right.
thanks, mate.
Oh, sorry, Brian, we grabbed you while you're in the middle of a conversation with the boys in the green room. I apologise. I always do that. I'm so sorry.
That's all right, Bob.
Congratulations, Brian. Top three. You're the quickest mover for the night. You're up 8 spots. How'd your race go? You're pretty stoked with that effort.
Yeah, a lot of practice and just trying to figure out this new setup for the truck. So found a couple of little adjustments that help a lot for long lap runs. So hopefully it's a sign of things to come.
So you looked really good out there. In fact, all the top three. Just looking at that now, Ruben was six spots up, Mark seven, and yourself eight. So you all came from that sort of same starting back row position. Do you think that's the sort of more preferred? I know a lot of people like to qualify high and start high and just hold their spot, but do you think just starting in the middle promotes a little bit more patience in these 150 laps?
There's two keys for it for Tim and myself. Is starting at the back, we get to see and judge how people are racing.
Yep.
And work out, the comers and the goers as far as setups go. So and then learn how each other races, and the good thing is we've got a great bunch of guys. We all give each other room, and this is the end result. Great racing.
Definitely was, definitely was. We saw for a period there that you and Tim had managed to join up and were moving your way up and through the field. Unfortunately for Tim, he sort of got a couple of cars between you and wasn't able to enjoy a lot of that success. But that's something that I think, and I call you two out for it a lot. Not call you out, sorry, but point you out a lot in the races where um, just having someone you can team up with, someone that you can rely on. Obviously, you've got some of these other teams, SRM and Stars, who have got multiple members. It definitely evens that playing field a little bit for you with having Tim out there and having that support.
Yeah, most definitely. There's it's been pointed out to us a lot on iRacing where it's been legends or progressing through to the NASCAR stuff. A lot of people, both here and abroad, couldn't believe how close we do run. Um, you know, and they thought that we were running too hard considering we're brothers.
If you can't run hard against your brother, who can you run hard against? Jeez. But that's the Australian way. I think that is definitely something we do well. Is our the way that we push each other might seem a little harsh, and then if you add brotherly love into that mix, and I've got a younger brothers, I know what that's like. So no, I can totally understand what goes through in those those practice sessions on the race as well.
We just got to keep them in check, don't we?
That's it. That is it. Well,
Yeah,
sorry.
I was just gonna say is you're still in the playoff picture, Brian. So how are you going to approach next week's race at New Hampshire? Lots of practice, I'm guessing.
There'll be a fair bit of practice involved, and just again learning the characteristics of the truck, another track, and what adjustments we can get away with on the long runs. That's always been our goal, is always the long run, not the short run. And especially like Sonoma, places like that. Not my strength, but race the track and not who's around me.
No, well, congratulations on your third place tonight. Shout out, and it's good to have you in the booth with us. Shout out to all your family, friends, and sponsors, and it's good to see you guys got your internet working again.
Yeah, thanks to Mr. Starling for that one. Yeah,
uh, I had Starlink for a while, and I'm so glad I don't anymore.
yeah. Well, for Tim, where he is in country Victoria,
Yep.
it become a must.
Yeah.
He only
Yeah.
had like 1 megabyte download, so he just couldn't function at all. So, but saying that, he's got better internet service now than I do in the capital of Australia. So,
Oh dear. No, well, congratulations again. Just yeah, shout out to all your
yeah,
family, friends, and sponsors.
big shout out for Timo. Yeah, he definitely pushes me along, and yeah, between us we can bring out the best in each other. So that's always great. Yeah, big shout out for my missus. She knows where I am most nights. Um, Straight after dinner,
Yep.
it's on the sim. So without her support, would make a big difference as well.
I call them
So,
the unsung crew chiefs. Yeah, the wife's girlfriends, partners of our crew, letting us enjoy this hobby that we have.
No,
yep,
yeah, well,
yep,
congratulations anyway, Brian, and 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 Tim as well. It's great to have you guys
Definitely, yeah.
part of the series. Yeah, you've been here from the start, and it's great to see the results finally coming through with some podiums and some broadcast time. No, well, so
yep.
congratulations, and yeah, hope to have this more often.
Best of luck
Yep.
next week.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. All right, that was Brian Blundell, our second place finisher. That brings us down to the 15 car of Mark Cochran. And the number of battles, I think, I don't know if you paid my camera crew off, Mark, or what, but I like to let them loose and sort of make their choices on where they think the action is. And you were a big part of it tonight. A lot of one-on-one battles, a lot of moving up and down the field. In fact, as I said to Brian, 7 places from where you started to finish second. Um, Obviously, you always want a good outcome when you're coming into a race. Was that the top three on the cards at the start of the race? Talk us through it.
Um, yeah, hello. Uh, no, top three wasn't on the cards. I'd done no practice. I jumped in a server last minute, and I just I've raced Iowa a couple of times, but it was just more keep it clean and see where I end up at the end of the race. And I just noticed that I kept creeping up further and further and further, and then yeah, and here I am, P2.
B2,
Well, you've had
yeah.
five starts this year with two top tens and one in the top five. So every time you race, you're up the front. Is that something that you work on well, apart from tonight, of course, but is that something that you work on during the week coming into a race to get plenty of practice in to keep that consistency of finishing in the top 10?
Um, Look, I wish I could say I do lots of practice, but I don't. Um, I think I race a lot of things. So I race 86s, I race F3s, I race all sorts of things. So my practice is very minimal. I think just I try to do a conservative approach, and that seems to pay off most weeks. Um, I think I've learnt because I do a US league on a Saturday afternoon, and I think just practicing on various tracks and learning how to control the truck and how to drive and save tyres, save fuels, just paying off over time.
It definitely looks like it. As I say, watching those battles on the track, you and Ron Thompson had a number of back and forth battles. You and the Blundells, I think we could probably add Tom Pritchard, Lachlan, and Andy into that mix as well. Jason and Matt, they're up there as well. So, um, coming into a race like this, knowing that there's teams out there, knowing that there's a number of people, what sort of strategies do you sort of look for guys that have similar styles and try and race with them, or do you sort of pull yourself out of your comfort zone and race sort of the quicker lines, even if they're not more comfortable to you?
Look, my main strategy most of the time on these smaller tracks is to see how I can use strategies to my advantage. So that's whether it be fuel or tyres. I think in this instance, I could see that we could get a lot of laps in a tank, so close to 100 laps. So my first thought was, how can I make the tyres last close to 100 laps if we go green all the way?
Yep.
And so, yeah, just conserve tyres, take that low line, which was really working for me. The car just wouldn't work anywhere else. So how can I maximize tyre life and use that bottom line? And that was my main goal. And if I could race someone, great. If not, I'll just run my race and see where I end up.
So, I mean, look, I think just being able to run your race and see where you end up, that mindset allows you to sort of not overdrive, not focus too much, and it goes a long way into helping you pull out these runs, you know, and sort of more racing the track and your car, not the cars around you. I think, and it was sort of what something Brian had said. Well, I think that it does. It allows you to sort of just head down, bum up, and do the work, not worry about it too much. Now, obviously, next week, round two, race three of the playoffs, the last sort of real chance to fully secure a spot. I've forgotten the track name already as I quickly.
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire, that's it. No, I can't understand why I wouldn't remember that
New
track name.
Hampshire.
How do you think you'll go there next week?
Yeah. I I don't know. We'll just wait and see. I did a league race on the road course of New Hampshire the
Yeah.
other day, so that was quite interesting. I've never done it before, and I think I've raced New Hampshire maybe once or twice in a truck, and I think again tyres was a big part of it. So again, I think maybe my strategies see where I can get speed on up the quicker drivers through strategy.
Oh, well,
Well,
look,
yeah, I was going to
yeah,
say,
it's,
well, congratulations on your second place tonight, Mark, and for Apex Esports. It's good to have those guys involved as well in the league. I read all your Facebook posts that you guys do. I love it. It's great. It's a good
Yeah,
little promotion.
yeah,
I appreciate it. So just shout out to all of your sponsors, family, friends, whoever you want to give a shout out to. The
yeah. No
floor's
worries.
yours.
Thank you. So a massive shout out to our incredible sponsors and partners. So Pagnian Advanced Simulation, Next Level Racing, Dubby, Fanatec, Stump Grinding Central Coast, Razor, and Chubby Buns Burgers. And of course, thanks to the rest of the team for their ongoing support. And yeah, thank you to the team supporters for following us in our races and participating in our leagues on Monday nights.
Awesome, man. Sounds like you've got a good bunch of guys. When you mentioned the burgers, I got a little bit hungry, so I have to wrap up soon so I can grab one. Best of luck next week. Best of luck with the team. Best of luck also with everything else you've got going on the league on Monday nights. And yeah, hopefully when it's all said and done, we get to talk to you again very soon. And yeah, don't be a stranger.
Cheers, fellas. Thank you very much. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
See you, mate.
So,
All right, Mark Cochran there. Second place. Oh, I meant to grab Brian Blundell. No, let's actually get the winner. This guy started off seventh on the grid, just ahead of Mark Cochran and Brian Blundell, which is so odd just to have all those guys coming from that single little section. But Ruben, looked like Jason was going to be the guy to beat tonight. After that first pit stop and that very early caution, it looked like things started to change around a little bit. And then once you got that car in the lead, you did not look back and ended up with a 20-second lead over second place. Matty gave us the idea that you like Iowa. I'm starting to think that it's a little bit more than like.
Well, yeah, definitely more than like. It's something about my driving style just seems to work here, and it's been like that ever since. But when you say Jason could have had that race win, you think again. I was going to pass him, but he decided to pit early, and a caution came out, and it ruined it. But if he stayed out there, I think it would have passed him easily. Just had to take a couple goes.
Yeah, look, once you started getting that car going, it definitely looked there was not like anyone on the track that could drag you down. Even lap traffic really wasn't slowing you down that much. Not that they get in the way, but sort of quite easily navigate through those and just kept on about your business. Obviously, that's it's a great win coming into the second race of the playoffs with third race next week. Are you able to sort of carry that momentum over to New Hampshire?
Oh, I mean, obviously any win is always good. Makes you obviously give you a bit of a a
Bit of a
lead on
boost.
yourself to
Yep.
give you some like more credit because it seemed like I could win every other stuff, but I had a little bit. I couldn't get the job done for the truck, so tonight was an extra big boost. And when you're 20 seconds ahead of everybody else, I think I don't want to sound but you feel like you've got some confidence building.
Yeah, well, I mean, your best lap was 23.32, and your lead over third place Brian Blundell was, over fourth place Ron Thompson was 23.608. So, yeah, I think if this was 175 lapper, I think you could have gotten all other 13 vehicles, 12 vehicles on the track. It definitely looked like you're in one of those on-rail trances where nothing seemed to sort of phase you. You kept it running, and that's the perfect race. You can't plan for them, you can't build them. You just sort of have to see it coming and sort of take it as it goes. And you did that beautifully tonight, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, cheers. But I've always cause one official a couple years ago, or actually it might have been about 3 years ago, there was a couple of the pro guys in there, and I learnt the line off them, and for whatever reason, it's just stuck with me. It's just, and no matter what I do, it's always seems to be. It's not never quick at the start, but I just sort of work at it, and but either way, I got to give a shout out to Lockie and Maddie there. They had some really good pace at the start. But at the end of the day, it was me that got up the front and kept it.
It was, and yeah, I think we could all hear Matty Raymond cheering you on those last few laps from here. We're supposed to be working, but yeah, it's I can't congratulate you enough. It was efficient run. There's it would have been better, I guess, if you had a few little mix-ups in the middle there, just so we could sort of have that bar. But you just set the bar so high straight away and did not look back. And that's how we like it to done here. It keeps everyone honest, keeps everyone fast. So congratulations, man.
I was
Um,
going to say, congratulations, Rubes. What's going to be your approach going into New Hampshire next week?
Drive it like you stole it.
That's going to be an entertaining 150 laps for sure. We might have to see if guys can pop some police wraps on their cars to motivate you a little bit faster. But dude, you showed them all tonight. Iowa was your place to pick up that win. Obviously, friends, family, and sponsors go into doing what we do, and I'm guessing you've got some of the best behind you. Who'd you like to give a shout out?
I've got to give out obviously SRM and of course Lockie and Matthew and of course Maddie, but who obviously couldn't make it this tonight. But of course Nigel for with everything with the league, and of course you Bob for putting the broadcast on, and of course everybody that sticks it out and continues racing and all that. It's always fun trying to work out all these things, but nah, I've had fun and keep going.
Awesome, man. Look, well, on to New Hampshire next week. That is the final round of the playoffs, race 3 of round 2, and then the championship at Chicagoland. So that's going to be, I quite like Chicagoland. I think that one is going to be a very, very racy track. But we'll get to next week first. Best of luck. We'll have you back in the booth anytime we can. And good luck with the rest of your races that you've got going on.
Cheers, and I better say thanks to Moondog for sponsoring the truck as well.
Oh, definitely. Shout out the sponsor. I think they're onto a good at Wicket with the team up with you. But big shout out to Moondog. All right, buddy. Best of luck for the next week. Have an awesome weekend, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, cheers.
Thank you. All right, when I learn, can't seem to. I couldn't drag Ruben out; it wouldn't move. That brings our race to an end tonight. Race to round 2 of the playoffs. Iowa Speedway. This has been the Australian NASCAR eSeries Friday Night Trucks, powered by Beat the Dark. We'll be back again around 8:10 tomorrow, Friday evening next week, for that final race. And look, I don't wish bad driving on anyone, but hopefully you might be available tonight to jump back in the booth. It's been a pleasure having you up here with me. And
Yeah, I should be around. And unless I feel like racing, and but then I enjoy coming up in the booth too and telling everyone a little bit about the league and helping you out a little bit. I don't mind. I like putting the show on for everyone. So
you've got a
yeah,
natural
it's
gift
been
for it.
great.
Definitely, man. Definitely. All right, look, we'll wrap it up there just because I've got something else to move on to now. Thanks for the support, Nige. Thanks for jumping in the booth. We'll talk to you again next week. For everyone that's watching, thank you for watching the Australian NASCAR eSeries Friday Night Trucks. This is Bobbers TV. We are live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So just choose the platform you prefer, and you'll be able to